My name is Zach, and I am the founder of Android Digest, and I'm excited to bring you this review of the Samsung Galaxy A50. Now, this phone retails for $349, making it a great mid-range option. You can currently get it through Best Buy. You can get it through Verizon as well. Now, I am reviewing the Verizon version of this phone. There are international and GSM unlocked versions out there, so this review really applies to everyone. And really, I want to ask the tough questions. I want to ask, is this device the best device for under $400? Is this device better than the Google Pixel 3a? And is this device worth buying? I'm really going to dive in, show you different features on the device, and I really want you to see if this device is worth a buy. That being said, let's get this video review started. So first I want to take a quick look at the device, and let's just see what it looks like. So you can see at the bottom here, we do have a USB-C port and a headphone jack. We also have a little speaker there in the bottom right-hand corner. Now on the side of the device, you will see a power button there, and also you see it up and down in the volume there. That is on the right side of the device. On the left side of the device, you'll really just see a SIM card tray. So there's a SIM card tray there. Now it does have a micro SD card slot as well, so that is a plus. And on the top of the device, there's not really much to see there. So the back of the device, you'll see this cool camera setup here. It's very similar to the Galaxy Note 10, so I think they were sort of trying it out on this model. And you see the flash there on the bottom. Now the cool thing is, there is a notch there. I'm not all into the notch craze. It doesn't really matter much to me. But there is a little notch, but you see there's a lot of screen real estate on this device, which is a plus. And you'll see right there, another plus for many people, especially the techies, there is a in-screen fingerprint scanner. So that is another really cool thing with the device. Next, I want to get into the display of this device. So this does have a 6.4-inch screen, and it's a 2340 by 1080 resolution. Now, typically around $400, you're going to get a pretty good display, and I actually think this display is even better than that. So if I compare this to the Google Pixel 3a, I'll say the Pixel 3a, in my experience, it was a good display, but it wasn't quite as bright. So this phone, I end up turning the brightness down almost sometimes to 25%. I feel like it's a very bright display, and it's very competitive with $500 and $600 models. So that's a really big plus for this device compared to other models in the price range, is the display. So if we just pull up Kindle, for example, we'll start reading here. And what we'll do is we're just going to pick sort of a random book here. We'll read about being pain-free and see how that's going to work out for us. So you see here, I think it looks nice. It looks good. And I honestly love the display of this device. It was one of my favorite things on this device. Things were very clear for reading videos. When you display videos, I think they look good. I think they look clear. So with the size of the display, it's very good for watching videos. So I definitely enjoyed the display, and it was definitely one of my favorite things on the device. Next thing I want to do is I want to look at performance. How does this device perform? Well, we see here it does have an Exynos 9610 processor. Now the US version of this phone is going to have 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is still pretty good. And what I want to tell you is this Exynos 9610 processor, it actually is about the same exact processor as far as speed and performance. It's very similar to the Google Pixel 3a. So the Google Pixel 3a, to give you an idea, if all these numbers are very artificial, this phone and the Pixel 3a, they perform at about 90% of the speed of the Galaxy S8. So to give you an idea, I know it's a couple generations back as far as the Galaxy S8, but honestly, it's very fast. Everything seems pretty smooth. As you could tell, I'm able to jump through different things. If I were to open up, the ESPN app and I see there's just a little bit of sports going on. It opens up very quickly. You know, as far as multitasking, I had the ESPN app in the background. I didn't have to restart it or anything like that. It just pulled it right up. So performance has been very good on this device and very solid. And I would say your average user is going to enjoy the smoothness of performance. Things scroll relatively easily, so you're going to experience smooth scrolling. You're going to experience good multitasking. So yes, your techies who they want the latest and greatest, you might be a little disappointed because this will not be as fast as the Note 10. This will not be as fast as the devices that just came out, but this will be like devices like the Galaxy S8 or the Google Pixel 2. It's going to be very similar to those devices in performance. So that being said, I think most people are going to be happy with the performance of this device, and you're going to enjoy the experience because it's really been a joy to use. So you're going to be able to multitask well, you're going to be able to browse the internet well, you're going to be able to go to various websites, you're going to be able to open up your recent apps and jump around and not really experience much slowdown. You're going to be able to open up new apps without much issues. So performance was a joy to use on this device, and for $350, I'd say it blew my expectations out of the water, because compared to devices like that are around $300, this device will perform even better than devices like the Moto G7 and other devices around the price. So for the money, this device performs way better than what I expected, and it really exceeded my expectations. Next, I want to talk about battery life, and that's a really big thing for your average user. You really want to make it through the day. You don't want to have to charge your phone a lot. So I want to go over battery life. Now this device has a 4,000 milliamp battery, and that's a very good battery size. So it's got 1,000 more milliamps than the Google Pixel 3a. So yes, the reason that is, part of that is because the device is so big. So this device does have to power a larger screen. It does have to show more pixels on the screen and things like that because it's so large. So that's going to be one thing. It's going to need a little more battery power, but it is so much so as far as the battery life that I think it's going to be better than the Pixel 3a. It's going to be better than the Moto G7, and it's not going to be as good as a phone like the Moto G7 Power, which has a 5,000 milliamp battery. It's a huge battery. So if all those numbers are a bunch of gibberish to you, let me just say this device will get you through the day. You're going to enjoy this device as far as the battery life. You can see I've been on the screen for about 2 hours and we're at 67%. So this device will probably get me through about 5 hours. Now, I've got a bunch of stuff running in the background like other people won't. I'm definitely going to make it through the day. It's almost 6 o'clock right now, and I've got 67% battery, which is just crazy at 6 o'clock. So if I go through and go home if I get home around 9, 10 o'clock and go to bed, I'm definitely going to have probably around 40% battery left, which is great, right? Most people go to bed and they have like, I don't know, they'll be dead or they'll have to charge around 5 o'clock. So a lot of devices like that stink. So battery life is definitely great on this device. Next, I want to talk about the fingerprint sensor, the fingerprint scanner. This cool technology that's normally in $800, $1,000 phones is into this $350 phone. So that might be a major plus for you, but it might be a red flag and it might be a reason to stay away for some of you. This is a good reason right here. You could see the phone is black. If I want to wake this up, I have to either I have to press that button on the side. I have to press the power button to wake it up. Then I have to do that to unlock it. You'll notice it didn't work right away. And the reason is I probably wasn't on there completely centered, but that's the issue with this fingerprint scanner. It doesn't always work. Another issue with this fingerprint scanner is when the screen does go black, you want to try to unlock it without pressing the power button. You sort of have to find it and sort of get lucky. You could see I put it on there, but I didn't put it on there in the right spot. It didn't work. Now it worked. So it doesn't always work as well as you'd like. So this is a cool technology, but it's fairly new. So in my experience, it works about 75% of the time. If I was able to see, it would work most of the time and I could get it open. But you see there, I lined it up as best as I could. It still didn't work. I lined it up again, it still didn't work. I've been trying to get in right position and then it did. So I did have issues with the fingerprint sensor. Now, if you go to fingerprints, one thing you'll notice, and I'm going to put in my pin here really fast. One thing you will notice is the fingerprint sensor can only register 3 fingerprints. So that's the other thing that I didn't like about it. Other devices you could typically put 5 fingerprints in. So that's a helpful workaround for a sensor that doesn't really register your fingerprint accurately, is even though I've already registered my thumb, I can add a fingerprint, and when I add a fingerprint, I can add the same finger that I have already added. So that's a good workaround for some of you if you want to practice and you want to get your fingerprint added accurately. So that's something you can definitely do. However, when you only have 3 of those options, if you make all 3 fingerprints with your thumb, what about your left thumb? What about the times when your hands are full and you have the device in your left hand? That has happened to me before, so I was really bummed out. This is probably one of the biggest cons of the device for me personally. Some of you may find it to be one of the biggest pros, is that it's in the phone and you have new technology and that you will be able to work around it. But with only 3 fingerprints that I can add, it wasn't much of a workaround. So again, I personally didn't really enjoy that feature like some of you might. Now, one of the other things I want to look at is the speaker. So this is sort of another con of the device, in my opinion. There is one speaker on the bottom, but the quality of sound isn't quite as good as other devices that I've seen. So whenever you actually turn it loud, it could sort of sound a little, well, not quite as clear. So just want to give you a little bit of a preview, I should say, of that. So I'm just going to turn on a quick video of, some commentary on ESPN just for a second.
You never know what life is going to throw at you. And from this point on, nothing is going to be the same. Puppy school is in session. My doggies.
You could sort of see there that whenever I played that, it was a little distorted at higher volumes, and it wasn't too bad. It was something that you could still enjoy, but personally that was another con for me on this device, was the volume. Didn't really like when I turned it all the way up how it would be a little bit distorted. What about other different features? Well, this device does have fast charging, which is a plus, so I did enjoy that. So it is a good device for that. And as far as the camera, I'm actually going to put up some pictures that I've taken here. And as you can see, whenever you take a picture straight on without a lot of movement, I think the camera is pretty good. It's not as good as the Google Pixel 3a, but honestly, this device has a pretty good camera. Now, I have a baby, and my baby likes to move a lot, so I'll have a picture up now here as well that you could see. And you could see whenever my baby was moving, it didn't get quite as clear of a picture. So the camera, I should say, takes just a little bit more time to snap a photo than, the cameras I've been used to, like the Google Pixel 3a. So with that being said, you need a less movement in your pictures. You need less movement in the background. So that's one thing for this device. So keep that in mind as you're really trying to get good photos. You need less movement. But as you can see, it can get some good pictures as well. So I would say it's a pretty good camera overall. So who should buy this device? Who should be buying the Galaxy A50? Well, if you're someone who's looking for a phone between $300 and $500, this is an excellent option for you because it hits a lot of high points. It's got a great display. The screen is very bright and beautiful. And it's got a good camera. And overall, great performance. So I would say this phone is great, and it's even got a great battery on it. So when you've got all these high points on it, I would say most people will enjoy it for that price point. But this phone has some competition, and that's something to consider. So if you're a techie who needs the latest and greatest, you're not going to get this. And if you're someone who just wants a phone to get by, who doesn't care about a ton of speed and stuff like that, you might get a phone around $200, and that might be where I might recommend something a little bit cheaper for you. But if you're looking around $350, you want a mid-range, you want a fast phone with a good battery that works well, and you just don't want to spend $800, $1,000, this phone fits right in that category with the Pixel 3a. But this phone has competition, so you have to compare it against the Google Pixel 3a. So which phone takes better pictures? Well, the Pixel 3a does. Which phone between the Pixel 3a and this, which phone has better software updates? Well, Google updates their phones right away, and Samsung takes a lot more time. So if software updates are important, the Pixel will be a better option. And also, I think the Pixel has a little bit of a better speaker on it, which is another plus. And I think the fingerprint scanner works very flawlessly on the Pixel 3a. So that is also another plus. Now, what's better on this device than the Pixel 3a? Well, it has a better display in my opinion. It's 6.4 inches, so it is also a big screen. And the Pixel 3a is only 5.6 inches. It's a little bit smaller. So this has a bigger screen. It has a brighter screen than the Pixel 3a, and I think overall the screen quality is a little bit better on this device. So that's a big plus for this device, is the screen. Also, performance is about the same as the Google Pixel 3a, and photos aren't as good, but they're close. So I'd say if you're wanting a bigger phone and you're wanting a great display, and that matters more to you than the fingerprint sensor, then you might want to consider this device. But if you don't really care how big the phone is and you're just looking for the best overall package, you will get a better camera in the Pixel 3a, and you'll get a fingerprint sensor that works all the time. So it's honestly a very close and tight race between these two devices. I mean, you could see this phone is very fast. It works well. I love the screen. The screen is great on it, and it's very fast for performance. So it was honestly a joy to use, but you know, if you have those little hiccups with the fingerprint sensor, that's a little annoying to me. So if you don't even use that, then it's not even a hiccup for you. And if you don't even use that, it's really just about, do you want a better camera or do you want a better display? Because if you don't use the fingerprint sensor, that's really the big differentiators, right? Do you want a bigger, brighter display, or do you want a fingerprint sensor? Those are the really two things that I would look at. And of course the camera, because it's very close, but I think the Pixel 3a definitely wins out there. So thank you so much for watching this video review. I do appreciate it. And big ways you can support us. 1 is by liking this video. 2 is by subscribing to our channel. And 3, another big way is liking our Facebook page. So I'm really trying to get that to grow. So just go to facebook.com/theandroiddigest, and you could like our Facebook page there. You can also go to our website at androiddigest.com. And another way is we do have links in the description. So if you are looking to buy this phone, feel free to click the links in the description and go there. Yes, I am an affiliate, but as you could see in this review, we want to keep it honest. We want to really help you find out what device is best for you to buy. So thanks for supporting us as always, and we hope you have a fantastic day.